Hi, welcome to the Bench Movie Club. My name's Charlie.
My name's Ben.
And in this special edition, I'm going to be interviewing Ben or asking him for his top 10 Mike Leigh films, as he's a huge fan. Now, Mike Leigh, for those who don't know, is an English writer-director with a career spanning film, theatre and television. He's received numerous accolades, including prizes at the Berlin International Film Festival, the Cannes Film Festival, the Venice International Film Festival, 3 BAFTA Awards and nominations for 7 Academy Awards. He's also received the BAFTA Fellowship in 2014, and he's an OBE, which he received in the 1993 birthday honours, so that's quite a long time ago. That's like 4 years ago. You'd think they'd have made him a knight
30
by
years
now.
ago, yeah.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said 40, didn't you?
Oh, sorry, 30 years ago. Born in Welwyn Garden City in 1943, Mike Leigh is known for, say, like his kitchen drama initially, British, very sort of realistic British characters.
Yeah. Like real life.
Real life, yeah.
A lot of improvisation, I think, goes on in his stuff as well.
Yeah. But you've been a big fan of his for a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, there's just, say, 3 films that I've loved from a young age. They was like cult classics in our family, like our extended family.
Are they in your top 3?
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity.
Them first 3.
So don't mention them yet, so you don't spoil it for
right,
people.
okay. Well, they was like cult classics in our family anyway, you know, so for all them years ago, that's how I sort of got into Mike Leigh. But then I noticed a few more of his films after that. And some of them are hit and miss. I mean, there's some that I just not that keen on, but there's some that I really love. And I think there's one in particular, I don't understand why it's not as famous as some of the others, because it is the best. Well, it's my number 1.
Okay. So is there any of his films which are sort of applauded and loads of people love, which hasn't made your list for one reason or another? Maybe it's like,
probably some of his later
hit home with
stuff. Yeah, there's probably some of his later stuff which I think is it's got some good bits. He's got some good stuff. There is some good films out there. I like with Mike Leigh. What I like about it is it's quite slow moving. You're getting to know the characters, and there's usually like some big thing at the end where it all explodes and all the characters interact in one go, and then it sort of dies down. And that's what I like about it. It's like you get to know all these characters. It's sort of quite just normal, mundane kind of life a lot of the time. You know, like real people. It's just like I like that. It's just like people watching.
Yeah,
you know.
And obviously, you know his work a lot better than I. I think I've seen about maybe 3 Mike Leigh films. I've enjoyed them, but they obviously it's something that you caught earlier on and has resonated more with you. Yeah. So going into this is why Ben is the expert on this.
Well,
so,
I ain't an expert on it.
Well,
I ain't an expert. As I say, I've got this is my choice, my top 10. I mean, a lot of people won't agree with this, but
These aren't just his theatrical releases, are they? You've gone through loads of his, so it's like play for today stuff as well.
Yeah, stuff that I suppose ain't even classed as films because they are like play for today. They would be down as
But they are still feature length anyway. But it's just you might not, in case people go, oh, that wasn't in the cinema or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, get it off.
Yeah.
But okay, so getting into it, what is your number 10?
All right, my number 10 is Meantime.
Ah, okay, from 1983.
That's starring Tim Roth, Gary Oldman in his first lead role.
Okay.
First
one of his first roles.
His first sort of major role. His first major role. Phil Daniels, obviously from Quadrophenia. Alfred Molina and Pam Ferris.
Yeah, see, I love all of them actors. Alfred Molina is fantastic. He was, I think one of his earliest ones was the beginning of Raiders of the Lost Ark. He had a small part, but then he went on to famously be Dr. Octopus in the new Spider-Man films, where he's considered one of the best villains. He's a fantastic British actor.
Okay.
Tim Roth, I've always been a big fan of.
Yeah.
From Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's really weird because
Made in Britain.
Like Gary Oldman as well, how big he is.
Gary Oldman's one of my favourite actors of all time. Yeah.
It's like how big. I mean, this is obviously they started off in this film. This was from 1983, so they was early on.
This was one of the only Mike Leigh films I've seen.
Oh, you've seen Meantime?
I've seen Meantime, and you know what I noted from it?
What?
It's shot in Chigwell. They drive past my house.
Do they? I didn't notice that.
Yeah. When you're in the car together, I thought, that is the road No, like from the church where I got married all the way up to Chigwell, where I live now.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, yeah. No, I like it. It's very, as I say, not a lot happens, but it's just like life kind of thing. It's just basically characters and how they interact, and like you've got the nutty one, like Gary Oldman's character. He's like a bit punky, you know. He's like a punk,
like a
and he's a bit skinhead.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, you're not a punk. Yeah, he's skinhead, and he's like a bit nutty.
Yeah.
He's like a bit sort of schizo.
So what's it about anyway? Meantime,
It's about two brothers.
Yeah.
Living in a council flat with their parents.
And that's Phil Daniels and Tim Roth.
And Tim Roth, yeah. Living in a council flat with their... And then there's like the aunt who gives one of them a job. And sort of... Yeah, it's just...
Because Tim Roth's sort of led astray a bit by Gary Oldman's skinhead, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. It's just... It's a strange film, but it's hard to explain. Like, so what happens? It's like, I don't really know. It's
so not much. Yeah, I see.
You know what I mean? Not much happens. Like, you can't really sort of say, oh, what's it about? It's hard to describe what it's about. It's just about this family, really, and the dysfunctional parts of the members of the family.
And what year was that?
It was 1983.
Yes, that's very early.
Yeah.
So they were shooting that when I was a baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a saying. Also, it's like, I like looking at stuff from that age as well, because you look and you go, you see how things have changed.
Yeah, next
like you've
time,
seen the house, like you've seen the old flats and all that getting demolished and stuff like that. It's
well, next time you'll notice as well. It's in Chigwell.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so what's your number 9?
My number 9 is Happy Go Lucky, and that was in 2008. That's starring Sally Hawkins and Eddie Marsan, and that's about, she's really upbeat. She's like a primary school teacher. Okay. She's really happy. And he's a really miserable bastard driving instructor. Marsan. Yeah. He's like really like, he's got like mental health issues really, it turns out in the end. He's just really miserable, and she's really upbeat. Really sort of like, you don't think you ever see her get the ump. As I say, she's like proper, like, they're like chalk and cheese. Yeah. And it's like it turns out that he sort of thinks as though she's like leading him on. And it's not the case.
So
she's just being friendly. No. He's
giving her lessons. He's
giving her lessons.
Oh, okay. He's had quite a successful career as well.
Yeah, I've seen him in stuff. Do you know what he's been in?
I see him in The Gentleman fairly recently. I know he was a main part in the series Ray Donovan, which was really big in America, which Adam loves, where he plays a brother, this guy who runs a gym, but because of a fight where he hit his head, his arm's constantly shaking. Okay. And he becomes obsessed with this woman. I don't want to spoil too much of Ray Donovan, but he's very good in that.
Yeah, I recognise his face.
Yeah, it's like a character actor. Like he's very distinctive looking, and he's short. Yeah.
But it's a really good film. It's like it's another one. It's like, well, what happens? Well, it's hard to explain. It's just about, she starts taking these driving lessons. She's just getting on with her life. She's got a flatmate that she lives with, and she's just really bubbly, happy person, and he's just really miserable. And it's just like, yeah, it's a good film though. Good film. It's hard to explain it, but it is a good film. I think you'd like it.
I don't know whether I've seen the trailer, but I know visually I can see it. I can see him and her, and
dark-haired girl.
Maybe I saw. You know what? It could very well be that I've either seen clips of it, or maybe if you was watching it, I watched a bit of it.
No, I'll probably come into this. This was like this, and Outlook's 2008. So we wouldn't have. That would have been before we all lived in together with Mum.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've seen it. Maybe I'd come round your flat or something like that.
No, I don't think so. I think that's. I sort of noticed that one not that long ago. Sort of like only about a few years back.
Right, and that was your number 9.
That's my number 9.
So what's number 8?
My number 8 is Another Year from 2010. That's starring Lesley Manville, Ruth Sheen, Imelda Staunton, and Jim Broadbent.
Now, the funny thing about Jim Broadbent is because I know him, like, I think one of the first things I see him in was Fools and Horses as Slater.
Yeah.
And I always thought I used to think he was an average actor. Yeah. You know, nothing against him, but his character Slater, some of his delivery, I thought he's very well.
I think it's just the way Slater's supposed to be. I think it's supposed to be that slimy sort of.
He was very nearly Del Boy, wasn't he?
Oh, was it? Oh no.
Yeah, he was very nearly Del Boy. They was going to have him and Nicholas Lyndhurst. I can't remember why he wasn't Del Boy. But then I've seen him in then when you see him in films, and like he done The Crying Game, Moulin Rouge.
Yeah. Oh, he's good. He is good.
Topsy-Turvy was one of Mike Leigh's films, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one.
I'm sure he was the lead in that, Jim Broadbent.
I mean, there might be other ones that I might think, oh, actually, I prefer that to this one and that one to this one, you know. But there's so many films, I couldn't sit and go through all of them. There's the ones I knew that I liked, and there's ones that I sort of thought, I've seen that and I'm sure I like that, and just had to rewatch to make sure that I did like it, and then it's made it all fresh in my mind again.
So what happens in Another Year?
Lesley Manville is obviously really lonely. She's like a sort of
Spinster?
yeah, sort of like she's like their friend who like drinks a lot, and she's sort of really lonely, sort of thing. It's quite sad, and it's like a lot of, you know, she's sort of turns up all the time. She's very similar. I can't say it because it's my number one film.
I know what you think.
She's sort of like she's playing the opposite character as what she plays in that film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I was going to say she's like a what's the name out of so and so, but I can't say that without giving away my number one film.
Okay.
But she is a very sort of like very lonely kind of person, and she's kind and she's friendly, and she sort of puts herself on people kind of thing. But she's she's got like she drinks a lot, and she sort of, I think she sort of gets a bit of a crush on their son, and then when he gets a girlfriend, she's like right sort of stroppy with this girl for no reason. She's like right bitchy towards the girl, and the girl ain't done nothing wrong. And she's, you know, I think
they're all very similar sort of humour, aren't they?
Yeah, they're all the same. You can tell like a Mike Leigh play because it's like it's very similar, and that's why he uses the same people, because he knows what he's after,
and he knows he does great characters. He does characters that you can go, oh, I've met people like that. And
the good thing is with all these characters, they play completely different characters in each thing, so it ain't like they're playing the same character in each film. They're playing completely different characters, so it's like they're not like just sort of that one trick pony kind of thing. No. You know? So but it's a really good film. I liked it, I enjoyed it, and it's just like life really, you know, and you see people like, you look at films like with Mike Leigh and you look and go, I know someone like that, I know someone like that, you know, like I think that's what it is with Mike Leigh films.
So number 7?
Number 7 is All or Nothing, and that's starring Lesley Manville again, Ruth Sheen again, Sally Hawkins, she was in Happy Go Lucky, and Timothy Spall. And Daniel Mays as well, you know, he's...
I know Daniel Mays. He's in Ashes to Ashes.
That's it. He's in a few things now. He's done pretty well.
He's done really well. And again, it's like you can see... he's
proper like chav in this. They're like, he's going out with this girl and he's like a proper like...
So what's Lesley Manville like in this compared
Lesley
to...
Manville is completely... She's like just like a sort of... just like a real bored housewife. Just going through the motions. There's her husband Timothy Spall, who's a cabbie,
and he's done loads with Mike Leigh.
He's done loads of stuff. Yeah, he's done loads of stuff with him. But so she's going through the motions. She's got her two overweight kids, which is James Corden's one of them, and a daughter she's got, and she just sort of she works in the supermarket on the checkout. She just looks really, just like. You know, that look people have get like you just look like life is just beating them down, and they've got like there's not really much going on in their life, and then she's got her mate Ruth Sheen who she works with. They go out for a drink with sometimes. She's a lot more upbeat, and she's got a daughter who's going out with the Daniel Mays character who she gets pregnant by him, and he's like talks to her like a piece of shit, the daughter and all that. Then there's his other family where she's like the mum's a drunk, the daughter's like a bit of a tart really. She's the one that's in Happy Go Lucky, but that's another good film. It's a good film.
That's one of the ones I haven't heard of.
All or Nothing.
All or Nothing. So you said James Corden's in it.
James Corden's in it
before he made it.
2002. So he was.
Was it before Gavin and Stacey?
Maybe, probably. I know he'd done Fat Friends with Ruth Sheen. With Ruth, not Ruth Sheen. What's her name? The one who's in Gavin and Stacey.
I haven't seen Gavin and Stacey.
Ruth Jones.
Yeah.
But he was in a thing called Fat Friends, which had Alison Steadman in it as well. So you don't know, maybe through this he might have met like Mike Leigh through that. I don't know. Because obviously Alison Steadman was married to Mike Leigh, wasn't she? Years ago. But it's a good film. I like it. It's all set in like a council estate. Like a block of flats.
Okay, so what's number 6?
Number 6 is High Hopes, which is starring Phil Davis,
Yeah.
Ruth Sheen, Lesley Manville again, and Edna Dorr.
And again, they're all like regulars for him, aren't they?
Like Lesley Manville, that's like the fourth one I've mentioned with her in. I mean, there's others with her in it as well, but High Hopes...
What year was that?
That was 1988.
So it's an older one then,
yeah. High Hopes is this Edna Dorr character. She's living in this little old house next door. She's just this rundown... So she's just like this little old lady. And she's got a son... is Phil Davis, and his wife is Ruth Sheen. They live in a flat round the corner, and there's the daughter who's really like annoying, sort of like about to have a nervous breakdown. She's like got this really high voice, and she's like all about the money and all this kind of stuff, and so she's probably somewhere like Chigwell or something with her husband, who obviously just ignores her, you know. So she's trying to sort of like live her life through money and whatever. And then you've got next door to the old lady is like this yuppie couple, which is Lesley Manville, and she's sort of all posh and all that in this.
So she's all different.
She's completely different. No, but she talks. She's like proper posh in this. She's proper posh, and it's like I mean, I saw when I first see it, I thought, is that her? You know, I couldn't really tell. And then when it's close ups, you can tell it's her. But they're like a proper yuppie couple, right? Proper snobby, and they've obviously bought. Like she's like the last council tenant, I think, in the block is Edna Dorr, and the rest of them are all private now, you know, which is all down near King's Cross sort of way, I think it is. But it's another good one, a really good film that I enjoyed.
Because with these Mike Leigh films, obviously they focus on all these little different small group of characters all interacting and stuff. So this is the kind of films that you'd make if you was a filmmaker. I take it.
I like this. I like that kind of stuff. I like the real people, and I like sort of
real life characters,
and with the humour added into
British.
it, because like you can like sort of punchline kind of jokes, like just sort of humorous, just like
characters,
little things that people come out with,
and
you know,
think, is that important? What's he saying that for? And it's socially awkward people.
No, I like that. So I enjoyed it. It's a good film. High Hopes. I enjoyed it. I rewatched all these that I've just mentioned. I rewatched all these last week because we was doing this.
That's good.
The first four I didn't need to, because 3 of them I've seen so many times, and
probably
one of the others quote the other 3.
Okay.
But so and my number 5 is Career Girls from 1997. And that's starring Katrin Cartledge and Linda Steadman and Mark Bonton, and that's from 1997. And I really like that. I really like that. It's starts off, it has flashbacks to them when they was younger and they're at college, and Linda Steadman's character's got all eczema on her face, and she's really shy and nervous.
Did they play themselves when they was in college? Oh, okay.
And she's like really nervous and really sort of like fidgety, and just sort of like really like her head down all the time, and just really squeaky voice. And that Katrin Cartledge character is like a bit like maddish, kind of over the top, but good heart, but quite sort of quirky, you know. And it sort of shows them later on. It's like she's like a businesswoman, this Katrin, and she's got like a nice job.
So she's calmed down a bit.
Yeah, she's got a company car and all that. And this the other character, she comes down to visit her and stays for like the weekend or whatever.
So this is
this is them later on. Yeah, and she's her skin's cleared up, and she's now like it's them. And
what's she like now then?
She's alright, yeah. She's sort of like, she's obviously all her skin's cleared up. She's now working. She's got confidence now. So it's like they're completely different characters to what they was when they was younger. And they go to this, and this estate agent sort of, they recognise him, and it's like they'd slept with him from years ago or something like that. So it's quite it goes flashbacks to that. And also
both of them had?
Yeah, at some point I think it was both of them. But it was like he don't remember him, and it's like they sort of remember him, and it's really weird. And there's the character, the Mark Bonton character. I think he's a bit. I think he's got special needs. He's like very nervous, but he sort of really deteriorates because they don't see him, and they see him at the end, and he's sitting on this old, because they lived above a Chinese restaurant, a Chinese chippy sort of thing. Yeah. When they go back to look at the old place, and they sort of, it's all boarded up and all that, and he's sort of sitting outside it with this old sort of teddy bear or whatever, and he's like a bit, so he's lost, you know, and it's like, so they keep bumping into these people that they haven't seen for years, and it's but it's just nice. It's a nice, It's a nice film.
I don't know him, Mark. His name sounds familiar.
Yeah, you'd know his face. You'd know his face. I don't know what I know him from, but I know his face. Mark Bonson. But Career Girls is a really good. Yeah, it's a really good film. I really enjoyed it.
Okay.
I think you should watch it. Actually, I think you might like them. I think you might like a couple of these films. They're quite. They're yeah. So I highly recommended Career Girls. Yeah, sadly, Catherine Cartledge, she died, I think 5 years after this film, like in 2002, I believe.
Right.
I can't think what it was. I think it was a cancer or something she might have died from. Do you know?
Complications from pneumonia and septicemia.
Yeah. Sad.
Yeah.
She was a good actress. She was a good actress. I really liked her in this. I think she would have been really successful, carried on being really successful.
She was in Naked as well, which was another Mike Leigh.
Yeah.
And Topsy-Turvy she was in, so obviously...
She would have been in lots more of his stuff. Yeah, he was a real...
Yeah.
He loved her, he was a real big fan of hers. And she was quite loved by a lot of people.
She was in Brookside.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she was a regular role in Brookside. But I never watched Brookside,
no.
to be honest with you, so...
Yeah, but it's sad. It's really sad. As I say, it's a waste.
Yeah, Mark Benton. Yeah, I recognise him.
Is it Benton or Bonton?
Benton.
Oh, Mark Benton. Sorry, Mark Benton, not Bonton.
Yeah, he was in Early Doors. What do I know him from?
I know him from something.
He was Inside Number 9, Vera.
Oh, Inside Number 9.
Midsummer Murders, Death from
Yeah, he was in lots of TV stuff, isn't he?
Oh yeah, Eddie the Eagle. He's in so much stuff. You see his face.
That's where I know his face from them.
What was that? That was your
number 5.
That was your number 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your number 4?
My number 4 is Secrets and Lies, starring Brenda Blethyn, Marianne Jean-Baptiste, Timothy Spall, Claire Rushbrook.
Yeah.
And that's about Brenda Blethyn's character. She meets up with a daughter that she had adopted when she was younger. Her daughter's black, actually. I think I don't know if she obviously must be mixed race because Brenda Blethyn's character's white.
Yeah.
But and she had no idea. Brenda Blethyn had no idea. She's like going, no, it ain't me, darling. Like, and then you don't actually find out what happened, as though anything. But it's something how she got pregnant and who the father was. You never find out. She was only young. She was like in her teens, I think. It turns out she was like about 16, 17, and you don't actually find out who the father was and what happened. It's like a secret. It's like you never find out. You find out about she's got a younger daughter. You find out about her father in the end.
Yeah.
You never find out about what the situation is with her. But that's really good. Brenda Blethyn is outstanding in this. She's such a brilliant actress, and this is what catapulted Brenda Blethyn to. She done loads of stuff after this because I think I don't know if she won an Oscar for this or anything. I know this was a real big film. But
I remember the posters. I remember Timothy Spall looking really angry on the poster.
This is what made Mike Leigh really big as well. Mike Leigh had been going for years, about 20 odd years before this, and this was the thing that all of a sudden Mike Leigh was then catapulted into like the public eye. Like a lot of people knew of him a lot more rather than just people that enjoyed his work from before.
Yeah, so this was like 96, do you say it was?
This was 1996 this was.
Yeah, I do remember this one. I remember the poster distinctly.
Yeah.
It's got a high rating on IMDb. I think it's 8 stars on IMDb.
I love there's the bit when she actually when she's sitting there in the cafe with the daughter and she's sitting there thinking, and when you can see the penny dropping. And then she's looking at the daughter and she's realising that it is her daughter. Like, it's really...
Is it that same?
No, it's before, no. They're sitting in the cafe, she's sitting there and she's smoking and she's sitting there and you see the penny dropping her and she's brilliant. She's so brilliant. Like, the acting, she's such an amazing actress, Brenda Blethyn.
She won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival for Best Actress for this.
Yeah, I knew she'd won something. I know, but as I say, she got noticed from this film. I mean, I'd noticed her long before this film, but this is when like everyone sort of.
This is a film that often, when someone say Mike Leigh, they'll say
this one.
Secrets and Lies director Mike Leigh.
Yeah.
So for this to be number 4, the top 3 have to be pretty big.
They are to me.
Right. So what's number 3?
Number 3 is Abigail's Party.
I've seen that one.
You have seen Abigail's Party,
Yeah, I watched it for the podcast.
Which that's, of course, yeah. That's got Alison Steadman, Janine Davitsky, Tim Stern, John Salthouse and Harriet Reynolds.
Yeah.
And that's about this sort of bitchy upper class woman having this little drinks party around her house, like a little dinner party, although there's no dinner. It's just nibbles.
And that was Alison Steadman, wasn't it?
That's Alison Steadman. And this is what shows what an amazing actress Alison Steadman was, because there's this and then there's another film that she's completely different characters in. But she's this is iconic. This is her, like everyone that knows Alison Steadman knows of Abigail's Party. This is most iconic role.
Into Dennis Russo.
Yeah, Dennis Russo. And also it's got, as I say, it's got Janine Davitsky, which a lot of people will know from Benidorm.
Yeah, she's like a dopey mate.
Yeah,
she? Oh, yeah.
But they're all brilliantly cast, and it's funny. It's like it's cringeworthy. You know, you're sitting there watching it, and you're like,
"What a horrible woman!" And I remember noting when we done the podcast, I thought she is what I would call a movie villain.
Yeah,
she's such a horrible person, but she's oblivious to the fact how horrible she is. She doesn't care about her husband.
No,
she doesn't care about her friends. She doesn't care about people's feelings. No. She's so blunt, and all she thinks about, oh, this guy's nice, and starts dancing with him, and just thinking, I'm going to be the perfect host, and she's off in her own little world.
Yeah.
It's a great calling card for both Mike Leigh and
the whole cast is really good. The whole cast is fantastic.
But she's the whole cast is great. But I think when you think of Abigail's Party, you think of Alison Steadman.
Oh, of course.
With that haircut, standing there like a little
so
smirk
70s,
on her face.
That's 1977. It's so 70s, and it's like, and the thing is as well, it's very clever because it's hard to maintain interest in something that's only got 5 characters in, and it's all set in the same room.
In one room, because even when they go to none of them's called Abigail. Abigail is the girl.
Yeah,
next
Abigail
door.
is the daughter of the character Sue, who's come along. Her daughter Abigail's having a party and cut the doors along.
Yeah, and the 2 men go and check on the party.
Yeah,
and you don't know what happens, but one comes back a little bit sort of later than the other.
Yeah.
It's left up to your imagination.
It's just a classic. It's so cringeworthy. It's got so many funny bits in it, and it is like, it's iconic. It's like, to me, my top 3 favourite Mike Leigh films is this and the other 2 that I'll be mentioning. Yeah. They're like my go-to, and I have seen each of these. I can't even begin to.
Was it easy to sort of put them in order?
Well,
1, 2, and 3.
Funny thing is, number 2 and 3 always
swap.
Yeah.
But this was always number 3.
No, 2 and 3.
Oh, 2
this
and 3,
one and number 2 are back and forth.
But number 1 is solid.
Number 1 is solid for me. Okay. Number 1 is solid for me. But number 2 and 3, I'm very like, I don't know, is it this one or is it this one? Because I like them both equally. In fact, I like the top 3 all equal. I'd like, all 3 of them I can sit and watch again and again, and they're all fantastic. I know them off by heart. I mean, I've quoted them for years.
Yeah.
So.
What's number 2 then?
Number 2.
So what beat Abigail's Party today?
Well, it beat it today, but it might not beat it tomorrow. It's Nuts in May, which is Alison Steadman, Roger Sloman, Anthony O'Donnell. This is just a classic, and this shows what an amazing actress Alison Steadman is, because her character in Abigail's Party, which is this horrible vampy kind of bitchy, smoking, drinking woman, whereas this, she's like a librarian-y sort of type, like vegan. She's really thin, and she's got the glasses and the long blonde hair, and she's like, her and her husband go on this little camping trip, and they're both so like boring, really. They're like sitting there, they're going looking at all the ruins and all this, and they're like she sits there and she goes, oh, like, we have to choose something like 72 times. Like, they're very sort of
in touch with nature, aren't they?
Very, anyway, and there's this poor bloke that they sort of put themselves upon, which is a bloke called Ray, who's a teacher, and he's sort of like, he's sitting there thinking, oh, just leave me alone kind of thing, and they're like sort of, there's some funny scenes in it, and then there's this couple that come at the end, like on a motorbike, like a couple of punky couple, that they come, and then they sort of, there's a massive big row thing at the end, because they sort of they're making noise and doing fires, and he's going, you're not allowed to do fires. It's like, it's like the camping's rules and all this kind of stuff. And he's going, yeah, mate, it's nothing to do with you. Mind your own business. And he's sort of like, but it blows up like typical Mike Leigh play. It's at the end, these characters will explode. It is so funny.
Yeah,
We are definitely going to do a podcast on this.
Yeah, so don't say too much, because I haven't seen it, but I remember vaguely, because I was only young, I was only a kid, I remember you watching this, and weren't they singing a song in it?
Yeah, she's sitting there like with their little guitars and all that. It's funny. It's got so many funny lines in it. It's so well written, so well cast, and it is just so, I just love it so much. I love it. I didn't know for years after that was the same woman as in Abigail's Party, because you look at them and you think that you could not get so more opposite characters, and that is brilliant as an actress to play both them roles, and you go,
what's the time between them?
That was 1976 and that's 77, so that was a year later. Abigail's Party was the year later.
Abigail's Party was 77, and
this is 1976. So it's only the year before.
She was married to Mike Leigh, wasn't
she? She's married to Mike Leigh, I think, so she's married to him at this time. But it was amazing. It's absolutely, seriously, they're so funny. It's so many
he's good
at making bits in it.
He's good at making these sort of really obnoxious characters, these people who you think, I wouldn't wish them upon my worst enemy, and he throws them onto a seemingly normal person.
Yeah.
So that you as a watcher could watch and go, what would I do if these people were put upon me? But no, we're definitely gonna be doing a podcast on that. I love that film. Okay, and I can guess your number one, but go on.
Yeah, well, my number one is Grown Ups.
Yeah,
and that's starring Brenda Blethyn, Lesley Manville again, Phil Davis again, Lindsay Duncan, Janine Davitsky again, and Sam Kelly. Now, this has been like a cult classic in our family. This came along through, I think Nan recorded it once.
What year was this?
This was 1980. It was recorded by Nan's, and the thing is with our family, it was like a big cult thing with me and Karen. We used to go say the lines all the time. Yeah. It's like you quoting little bits out of it.
The Brown.
Yeah.
See, I've never seen the film, but I know.
And all that, and
yeah,
link me arm and call me Charlie, and all these little sayings that you just come out with automatically without realising. Yeah. But it was it's just a classic. It is Brenda Blethyn's first movie, and it is the best by far that she's ever done. She is amazing as this character, and that's why I was going back to Another Year, because Lesley Manville plays her sister in this.
Yeah.
There's her and Dick, which is her and Phil Davis.
Yeah.
And Brenda Blethyn is sort of similar character to what Lesley Manville plays in Another Year.
Right.
So I was going to say she's sort of like a Gloria out of Grown Ups. Yeah. I was going to say that because she's really kind, Gloria, but she's putting herself upon them all the time, and it's like they've just moved into this house. There's like this young couple, Mandy and Dick. Yeah. Have just moved into this little. They've got their first house, and Mandy's sister Gloria keeps popping round all the time and like unannounced, and they're like, "Oh, your sister coming round again," sort of like. She's really kind, but she's lonely, and she's like, she brings them like a Hoover round, and she brings them fish and chips, and she's always like, and they're just sort of like leave us alone. She gets her friend Sharon round. Oh, she's brilliant in it as well. Janine Davitsky, she's sort of sulky kind of mate, and they are living next door to their old school teacher, Mr. Butcher. So like they're going, I've got Mr. Butcher living next door. Like there's him and his wife, who's also she's like a netball teacher or something at school, a PE teacher, and so they're quite sort of up class. They've got like a boring little life going on next door, not really much going on. And you got this, and then there's this massive climax at the end.
I remember seeing
so funny.
The climax, him losing the plot, but
he ends up chucking Gloria out, and she's running with she's got these little ankle swingers with these white socks and black high heels with her white socks, and she goes running into Mr. Butcher's house and locks herself in the bathroom, and then it drags their neighbours into it, and it's just so funny. It's my best Mike Leigh film by far, and as I say, I think it's mainly because this was recorded. Nana, I think, recorded it onto a tape years ago, and we never see the end of it until like about 15 years ago or so, until it came out on DVD. But we never knew the very end of it. Like it's only about 3 minutes or something we lost, but none of us ever knew what the end was.
What was it like watching the ending after all them years then? Because obviously...
It's pretty weird. Maybe that's what part of the thing that sort of made it...
appealing.
Yeah,
Like
it was like,
bit
you know,
of
that missing
footage.
bit, like, I wonder what happened. I wonder how it ended. Because when Nan had started the recording before, the tape was one of them short tapes, where I think Nan had started the recording just before.
Yeah.
But it was classic in our family, like all of our family, like my mum's extended family, all her brothers and sisters and there's cousins. A lot of people knew of this film. So I knew of it through that, and then I loved it since my early teens. Yeah. So I remember it, and it's always been...
The funny thing is, when
stuck in my mind.
This won't mean much to you, but when you're describing Gloria as the sister who just turns up, and there's a character in this TV show called Bob's Burgers, the cartoon Bob's Burgers, Linda's sister. Even looking at her, she looks like Gloria.
Oh, okay.
She's got glasses, and she comes around and she just sort of imposes herself, and it drives Bob, the husband, mad. And he's like, "Oh God, your sister's here again. What's wrong?" But like, it's one episode he has to go pick her up for Thanksgiving, and she's like, "No, you got to bring the cat with us as well." And he's like, he's carrying a cat in the snow, and it's going mad. And you've got to sing to him. You've got to bring him down. She's just like a total nutcase, and. You know, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that she was partly inspired by Gloria.
How?
Well, one of the writers must have seen Grown Ups. Must have seen it. They said.
Really?
But I'm saying,
see, because that's the film with this film. It's like Abigail's Party and Nuts in May are so well known, like cult classics. Grown Ups was about a year later, like or 2 years later, and no one knows it, and it's better than Nuts in May and Abigail's Party. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think all three of them I'd put as they're all equal with each other. Nuts in May, Grown Ups and Abigail's Party are all equal.
But Grown Ups...
But Grown Ups to me edges it for me.
Didn't it have a brown video case?
I can't remember.
I remember you had like different video cases. But you wrote to her, didn't you?
I wrote to her when I was youngster, when I was about 14 or something. Because I never knew what... See, the thing is, because of the end being cut off, I didn't know what none of the actors were called. So we didn't know who any of them were. And I sort of wrote a letter, because I see her on the Smith and Jones thing once, and I was like, that's Gloria at Grown Ups. And I looked at the end and I see her name, Brenda Blethyn. And I thought, right, so I wrote to the Smith and Jones television show, and I said, hey, blah, 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 really loved you in Grown Ups. Could you please tell us what the cast is all called, because we've never seen the end. Forgot all about it. About a month or so later, she sent me a postcard from New York, where she'd obviously taken her letters with her, and I've still got the postcard.
Forwarded to her,
yeah, she goes, "Hi Ben, thank you so much for." She goes, "I'm really pleased with it myself. The other cast members are," and that's how I knew the cast members were called. And she said,
"Have you got it?"
Yeah, I've still got it somewhere. I've still got it.
Are there any films that just didn't quite make the list, or maybe just?
Oh, there's loads of films. He's got such a big back catalogue.
Yeah, I'm sure there's loads of fans who would be going, "Oh, you didn't do this, you did in this one," but obviously this is very personal to you.
Yeah,
and
well, to say, a lot of people probably won't even know Grown Ups. Well, I don't even know that.
Your top three wouldn't necessarily be like people who discovered him after Secrets and Lies.
Yeah,
they'll think, "Oh, Secrets and Lies."
But I think a lot of the OGs,
Vera Drake.
Yeah, a lot of the OGs would. Abigail's Party and Nuts in May would definitely be up there.
And like he had Mr. Turner, Peterloo. These are the ones that he's known for now. But it's like it's more worldly known because he'd established himself after Secrets and Lies.
Yeah.
Whereas these early ones, this is sort of like the deep cuts. This is where he came from. This is his original writing. When he was more, in a way, he was more like these people. He was more in this world. Whereas now he's made it. He's big and rich.
Yeah.
I doubt he gets to meet as many real life people as what he does.
Yeah.
In this, that's probably why he does more period pieces like Mr. Turner and Peterloo and stuff.
But I love this. I loved Grown Ups is fantastic. People either get it or they don't get it. If you like a Mike Leigh thing, like you will love it.
Yeah.
Like you like Abigail's Party, so you're going to love Nuts in May and you're going to love Grown Ups.
Right.
But they're definitely ones for later podcasts. Well, them two definitely. Maybe even Secrets and Lies. Maybe even Career Girls. Career Girls. I really enjoyed that when I watched that. And High Hopes. I enjoyed that. Or maybe over time I end up doing a lot of these, so we can spend time individually on each of these.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's lots of other films that I could have mentioned. But I might look at some and go and rewatch them and go, oh, I prefer that to this.
It's always the way, in it. Your taste changes. Like if someone asked me my top 5 films, I could name what they are at the moment, but tomorrow they'll be different.
Exactly.
Like, it's one of those things, but you're pretty sure Grown Ups is
Grown Ups
solidified
has
as
always
number
stayed my number one, and it's because it's the original.
So if someone likes Grown Ups, they'll probably like Mike Leigh in general, his films. Would you say that's a good one to start on? If someone
Grown Ups, Nuts in May, Abigail's Party, one of them three.
Right.
All of them three are his best, and it's really weird because there was a film. I think he done Nuts in May, then there was Abigail's Party, then there was another film, then there was Grown Ups, and I thought, oh, that film's going to be amazing. I didn't like that other one. I can't remember what it was called, but it was in between that bunch of amazing films. So they was like year after year, they was just amazing. Yeah. And then there was this one, maybe I need to watch it again, maybe because it was in such a strong...
You might have hyped it up so much in your head thinking...
Because I looked on the I've got the box set of the Mike Leigh things, there's two different box sets, and I looked and I thought, these are all... That is stuck in the middle, that has got to be the same as that, because that's when he was at his best, like Grown Ups and Nuts in May, Abigail's Party, they was all... And there's this other one sort of enveloped in between them, and I remember watching it going, no, I didn't really get that one. So there's some of his I don't get. Some of them I look and go, no, I didn't really like that.
But like you know,
but there's some I really do like. Some that I'd sit there and it's easy to watch. It's easy watching some of them, you know.
But it happens so much with films, you know, like you said, with the first time you watched Groundhog Day, you weren't that bothered. First time I watched Bridesmaids, I really wasn't in the place for it.
Yeah.
But when I watched it the other day, I really liked it.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, sometimes it's worth giving something another chance if you think there was something there, maybe. Yeah. And I've discovered that in the past. There's films I've thought I don't like it, but years later something keeps coming back to me. And you go, you know what? I'm going to give that another chance because I think I'm different as a person now, so I'll like it.
Yeah, more. You will like them. As I say, we're definitely going to be doing podcasts on Grown Ups and Nuts in May because we've done Abigail's Party already. It'd be lovely if we could get bloody Brenda Blethyn or Lesley Manville interviewed on one of them. I would love to interview one of them too.
Okay, well, so that was Ben's top 10 list on Mike Leigh films. So if you want to discover Mike Leigh, go through his list.
Yeah, and also check us out. We're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram,
Spotify,
and all of our podcasts.
And if you want to leave a comment, please do. Even if it's something telling us where we're wrong, we don't mind.
No, and also, if you could rate us on these things, and if you want to contact us, our email is benchmovieclub@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Right, thanks for listening, and we can catch up with you soon. See you later.
Bye-bye.